isn't that nice? Think of how expensive that must be to take care of that. How much water do you use trying to manicure a golf course in California? How expensive do you think that is? If we're in a drought, it's been a dry winter and a warm one, how do you think that's gonna play out? I want your answer. I want your opinion. Do you support golf in California? Or are you like me and do you hate it? Because I certainly do. I don't think it belongs here. It also, all of those grasses are invasive. They're not native here. And Bermuda grass is one of them. Although I don't let this one seed. But I really hate golf. Not because it's kind of not because Trump plays it, but just because it just doesn't belong in places where it just doesn't rain during most of the year. That is the big problem about this. And because of that, I think golf is an abomination in California. All those people over there, they have absolutely no idea what they're doing to the environment. Now, I may sound like those really woke, climate crazy people. At least that's in the eyes of people who are in the different in the other party. But I have done research, and research is it doesn't have a side. It's not left or right wing. It's neutral. And yeah, science-based. So that is science-based info I'm giving you. Golf does not belong in California. All those people have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea how expensive it is to maintain a golf course. This place is absolutely huge. It's like, I don't know. The whole golf course is like massive. And they water it throughout the summer. That is like $1 million or something. It's really a letdown. I'd highly recommend it. I mean, if it's in the East Coast or in the Pacific Northwest, that's fine, because it rains there more than half of the year. And yeah. Lately I've been ripping these out, but a lot of these they're too anchored to the ground to rip it out with my hands, and that is bad. Number 1 California abomination. It's a botanical abomination in California. Number 1 is Scotch brush, related to lupins. This is bad also. These guys planted this here, having absolutely no idea that oleander is a very, very noxious plant here. But I feel like if I tell anyone at my age right now, they won't believe me. They'll get defensive. I think the words from the YouTube channel, Crime Pays but Botany Doesn't, are very wise, and I follow them very closely. And therefore, my punk status has skyrocketed. I don't really have a status. I'm still a novice at being a punk. But it is something I like the idea of. Even we have oleander. I can get rid of that. Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. I have the same kind of makeup as I did in October. I woke up really well this morning, even though I didn't get any sleep at all. But I felt pretty good. Dark as usual. Well, not in an emotional way, which is fine, but yeah. So today I'm going to repot the Firethorn and Hawthorn. They just happen to have the same, similar names, and are in the same pot. But I'm going to mount you onto the rack. Whatever this tray is, it has holes in it that are square. So now I'm going to get this out. I'm going to squish the pot. So enough with the complaints about the golf course and the invasive species of plants. Today, I'm going to be working on a non-native, non-invasive. This is a hawthorn. Oh, well, maybe it grows native in Oregon. There's lots of hawthorn in Oregon. I just don't know. They grow in the plum meadows, the plum forest meadows, and it's very peaceful, but I don't know. I do know that there is a hawthorn species that is native to the UK, and I've seen them growing wild very nicely, and they have a nice twisty, gnarled trunk and a kind of a rose, they have the shape, the kind of branch style as like plums and cherries, but they're not a stone fruit. And yeah, so I don't want any branches at the moment. I just want to build this twisty trunk with lots of movement in it. And then somewhere at about maybe at least 6 inches, I will start developing branches. So it may take a few years until I decide to make it start to branch out. But I'm going to start raking it out. I might have planted it a bit deeply, and it's kind of funny because the last video that I posted was, at least at this time, was the repotting of this same tree 1 year ago on January 21st. Oh, I'm going to reuse this soil. It's very, very nice. Very, very nice soil. It drains so well. And it holds enough moisture that it doesn't dry out. And I didn't... It doesn't dry out like at this time of the year, even though it hasn't rained since January 3rd, which is insane for this time of year. We're almost getting like the kind of winters that you get in India, I guess. It gets dry in India during winter. Indian winters. And I guess subtropical areas where it gets dry during winter. I don't like that here. I like super, super wet winters that are cold. And actually, the good news is there's a chance of precipitation coming up in a few days. It just kind of suddenly appeared and showed up on radar like, I don't know, a few days ago. But there's rain in the forecast. And that's very exciting. Because I have been waiting so long, almost a whole month, where I usually would be totally content, not restless at all, because of abundant rain. But that is not the case for this year. This year, is not starting out very well. Starting out, New Year's Day, a red flag warning in Los Angeles, and now there's no precipitation for the entire month. That's probably because of an aggravated Santa Ana effect, a high pressure zone, probably because of climate change. Trigger warning to those of you who are sensitive to that topic. I do not say that lightheartedly. But I don't know. Hopefully most of you are fine talking about climate change and how to fix it, because it's real. And yeah. So, right now, I'm going to prune this. I don't need those other roots. And I'm gonna prune there and there. Oh. Can I prune any more? It looks quite nice. I'll just prune this a little bit more. Because that root actually it just starts curving down. Maybe I don't need to focus on all the tiny roots. Could that be fine? I think so. I don't really, well, this root, maybe I do. Maybe I do need to focus on those small roots, but, that root, I don't know. I have more fine roots coming off from the trunk than bolder roots, but I'll keep the bold ones for now. That root curves down. Oh, I don't know. Let's see, that big root kind of curves off to the side, so I'll prune that off. What about this one? But these smaller roots, are those going in a better direction? I don't know. Well, I think that's as much as I'm gonna do for now. I think it's gonna grow strongly. I already pruned it to like how I want it to be. I haven't really found out, like, I don't know. That trunk is a bit straight. I don't know. I don't know. I won't touch it for now. But there's the Firethorn, and now here's the Hawthorn. It's a bit slightly dry-ish. I'll just swish that around. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I pulled this out of the ground. It, from the street with the gorge, and there's still some of the soil, right here, the gray clay soil. So I thought I got rid of that during my first repot, but I don't know. It didn't seem to cause a problem. But I don't want my trees growing in clay soil because it doesn't really drain well. It's not porous enough to give the roots some oxygen, because it's good to have them get some oxygen. But I do remember, certainly. Oh, interesting. There are thorns. Well, yeah, there are thorns. There are thorns here. Where did it start? This is what was growing straight up, like that. This is the taproot. Was the seed here? Did it germinate like that? I don't know. But I did cut it 90 degrees. And Therefore, the roots sprouted 90 degrees from this branch. And that is why you want to prune horizontally when you're pruning other roots. There is there's a bug. I'm gonna prune it here. So you always want to prune it like this, because then the roots are gonna grow out of the top section like that. That is how you get your roots nice and flowing. And yeah, there's still pieces of dirt in here. I don't know how to get rid of those, but yeah. I'll just prune. There are some crisscrossing roots in here. I'm gonna get all that clay out. And because I don't want clay, and I'm scratching off the I just scratched off the skin, and I don't want to do that. But I gotta get rid of this clay. Alright. That is a weird root system. And, it's very chaotic, but this is my first move. And I'll just prune everything short for now. And then, yeah, that is it's a very bad root system. This is the root I'm gonna prune this root off because I can't. No, that root is not just. It's just no good. Now I have a very meager root system. Getting meagerer. This root could be corrected, possibly. I want it. Oh god. No, I'm gonna prune it short so that it sprouts some nice radial ones. So an upward root here. That is all I'm going to do before it gets too hard. I'm gonna prune the tip off of this one so I get more branches in the roots. I already pruned the top. So now I have a higher trunk. Because I guess I buried this quite low. Hello. So I'm gonna pot them up now. Hmm? What? No. You always. He thought that I was talking to him, but I don't know. I don't blame him. But I'm gonna pot it up, and here's the container. I'm gonna reuse the soil. It's very nice soil. It still has good stuff in it. I'm gonna save the leaf litter. Whatever leaves I can find. I don't know how that got in here, but it definitely came from that bag of cactus and succulent mix. That for some reason is inside a very flimsy bag of plastic. Now I have no idea why they did that, if they're a gardening company. With the deranged cactus mix. What is that? There's more plastic. That is why I don't even know. I don't have any tips on making alternative cactus mix. So, yeah. Sorry, I apologize to all the hundreds of people who have already watched my repotting my Hawthorn videos, but I try to avoid using cactus mix when potting cacti. I examine the soil first. If it's mushy and wet, I don't use it. And that is the only kind of cactus mix that I've ever seen. So my trust levels in cactus mix are kind of low. But I've seen cactus mix that looks like this. This is cactus mix. It's not just potting soil. I mean, that cactus mix is probably best for a willow. And willows are almost on the other side of the spectrum of water tolerance from cacti and succulents. And now I'm going to put the soil back in. Good. The soil, I mean, I don't need to put drainage screens at the bottom because the soil is going to all compact together. But I can now put this here. I'll put a little bit of soil on top of that so that it stays put. And then I'll wiggle them in. And wiggle the soil around in between the roots. I put them in the same container because I am high on trees and low on pots. And I need to I don't have enough pots to have each of my trees be by themselves. I will after college. Maybe. Hopefully. But yeah. So after I'm done wiggling the roots in, I will come back. I don't know if there's much I need to do to this, but to keep them firmly in the pot, I will put rocks on top of the soil instead of wiring the trees into the pots, which actually I don't really trust, because it heightens the risk of you putting wire scars on your roots, your beautiful roots, and I don't want that happening to your roots. So, yeah, I want your roots to be good looking. Now I'll pour the rest in here, but that will take 2 hands. Now, this soil is quite dry enough that it's crumbly. So if I just do this, they'll kind of settle in. I just hold them into position. They'll kind of stay put, but also I'm pushing down on them at the same time. I don't want to do that. Gotta lift this one up. Gotta lift this one up. Now I'll push down. Well, maybe the water will do that. Let's see. The soil drains very well. Yes. It's sinking. It's filling in all the dry spots. What should be what tree should I repot in the next video? I think. Well, I repotted the spurge off camera, and I'm glad I did so because it also took like an hour and a half. The roots on this this euphorbia amygdaloides, they were so dense that it, it was so tedious. I had never seen such a dense root system. And when I bought this at the nursery, it was just a tiny little sprout. So I don't know if it grew all those roots since it will be from when I bought it to when I repotted it, but oh my god, it was so dense. And I might have taken it to the bare minimum, but at least I got the roots all radial. It's firm. And it has buds. It's still a nice healthy red color, which is what the stems are supposed to be like during winter. Well, it's actually purple. But I should probably water my pistache forest. And even though it's heavy, the top of the soil, it feels a bit dry. And now, so now, that's my, oh, there's still stuff in here. So there. Even though this is dirty water. So that's draining well. I haven't watered it. It hasn't been watered since January 3rd. I should probably put that over so I can reuse the water. Because this is precious. If it does not rain, if it does not rain this weekend, then I need to keep using the water from the wheelbarrow, which actually does have mosquitoes in it. Oh, I could repot. I think maybe the next one, I'll repot is my crayons. These, maybe I'll put them in the same container, but they'll probably have to be, I don't know. I don't have any more of those plastic training pots, like these, but I could put them in a larger black one, like my sweet acacias are in. Once again, I did prune the sweet acacias. They were pushing out leaves, and I just felt like maybe they would, these trees will spring back into leaf more strongly. They're hardy down to 25, which is the annual average extreme minimum for zone 9B. And that is good, because that's where we live, in zone 9B. They're both breaking dormancy. And, oh yeah, I also know it's Vicalia. I think it's Vicalia farnesiana. Yeah, they're very nice. And they're called the sweet acacia because the flowers, I haven't experienced it before, but the smell of the flowers is so strong. You can smell it from, like, I don't know. You can smell it from, like, down the block. But I don't live in Texas or Florida or I don't know, anywhere where that. So I don't know what it is like. But I would certainly love to know how lovely it smells. Maybe someday, when I'm like 60 years old, this will flower. I'm sure they live quite decently long. They can grow quite large. I think the ones that I saw in Key West were quite young. And I tried pausing the video without looking at my screen because it's pointing towards me. The camera is pointing away from me. So here is what I mean by an old Hawthorn. Now, these are all in Britain and the UK and Ireland. And they are, I think they are either or a Celtic tree. I guess I know there is some kind of symbolism with hawthorns, but this is how I plan to style them. You can see they're all battered by the wind. They're very gnarled, and yeah. So if I don't know, that one has the company's thing all over it. But yeah, there's a nice one. Look at that trunk. It's very twisted, and very low branches too. Oh, there's a nice one here. I mean, even though it has like the logo all over, but I try to find the ones with that don't have that distraction in the image. But here, yeah, it is very inspirational. They get nice fall colors. They get nice flowers, and yeah, very, very inspirational, and they also get very windswept as well. Very, very lovely. I might kind of, I have some rocks that might look good with this, my hawthorn. Look at this. That, like the rocks, I have rocks that look like that. Look at this. Those rocks. And I have, yeah, these. I have rocks that actually look like this. And I'll show you. So these are the ones, guilty pleasure, that I got from Yellowstone. I did get them from Yellowstone. I could not help myself. But I don't feel ashamed of myself, because that beautiful super volcano is constantly forming these rocks from freeze and thaw conditions. But these are just to keep the squirrels out of here. That could be nice. I think this is. Did I find this in Yellowstone? I feel like I found this one here. It's a piece of chert. Yeah. And then there's this. It's a large one I found in Yellowstone. No. I think I brought this from the creek. One of the gorge. Yes. This is the one that looked quite nice. Now, it would be better to have a rock like this than like that. But you can see that looks very, very, very similar. And I am very proud that I got those rocks, because one, I have never ever seen rocks like that before, and two, I can put good use to them. And three, they are from a source that is actively, that it is producing them with frost weathering. I have a rock that looks like this. It's here somewhere. It looked exactly like that. It might be somewhere over there, but I'll check right here first. Look how like the soil dries out so fast. I have to water these again. My coast live oak is dry. This is dry. This is almost dry. Those are dry at the surface. This is probably dry. That's dry. How are these? Oh God, I can't keep up with the watering. Someday, that wheelbarrow is going to be empty or near empty. But by then, it's probably going to start raining again, so I don't know. Was it this? No. It's here. Holding my alder in place. I can switch that rock. Well, I mean, I don't plan to use it for my hawthorn right now, because my hawthorn is only like 3 years old. Starting at maybe, I don't know, it's probably 3 years old, but here is that rock. It looks kind of similar, and I'll show you This is a piece of tufa, or tuff. No, yeah, it's tuff. It's a piece of tuff from the caldera rim. I made a video at the western edge of the caldera. And I didn't post it because I wasn't sure. I wasn't ready to post it, and kind of plead guilty-ish, I guess. But there you can see that rock, and then here it looks quite nice. You can see the rocks. They're all over the landscape. I think it's limestone. It just says it's limestone. It's growing straight. Oh, it's actually growing straight out of the limestone. That's nice. So yeah, that it creates this kind of microhabitat where everything grows miniature. And yeah, oh wow, this is breathtaking. I want to go to Britain someday and show you guys what, like, just this wonderful tree is growing straight out of the rock. I am speechless-ish. This is very nice. So that's how I'm going to style my Hawthorn. It's going to be a slightly windswept, very gnarled and twisted, lots of movement, and kind of this kind of spreading canopy. Actually, I have an idea. So I'm going to start out by developing it into a Pyrenees style, which you can see that's Pyrenees style just by nature. This is kind of Pyrenees style, like a low spreading canopy. They do have kind of horizontal branches, but then I'm going to tilt it upward. This is probably by now I'm probably talking about many decades in the future when when the trunk is probably going to be like that big around, and I don't know, probably going to be 30 years old, and then I'm going to just tilt the pot upward and just keep growing it so that it grows sideways, and maybe tilt it like this so that it grows towards the sun, and then maybe the lower branches will die off, and as if they got broken in the wind, because it's very windy there. You can see that the influence of the environment, and yeah, I'm having a very fantastic vision of the future of this project. I have like almost 60 projects here. Thank God I have a mom who is willing to take care of them while I am in college up north. But I have all these projects here, and I think the one I'm looking most forward to is my Arctic style willow. Is that a flower? No, I don't know. That was not a flower. I don't know what that was. So I can put it in here. Yeah. And now I have just some general updates in the garden. It's certainly spring here in the garden, and I need to be careful because our dog is shitting all over our garden, and that was a trip. Oh, the ribes. The ribes is flowering. Look at that. Does it smell? Oh, I just smell the leaves. The leaves are very fragrant. So I already knew that currants are very early plants, at least this kind. Red flowering currant. Ribes is the scientific name for currant. And it still has some of its winter colors. Now this viburnum, I forgot what the last scientific name of it is, but it's an evergreen viburnum. And it's pushing out leaves. It has like one berry on, right down there, and it's almost ready to start flowering. And I think those flowers will be blooming by late February. The aeonium, which the leaves smell absolutely horrible. Oh, my hands smell like currant now. It is blooming. Well, oh, it's so close to blooming. I don't know if they have a scent, but I'm not sure. And I'm not a master at succulent care. There are daffodils. I was about to say delphinium, but it might be in the onion family. I'm not sure. I'm starting to see periwinkles. I gotta watch my step. There's periwinkles. I think I did put root hormones on this. Remember when I pruned all of my trees? Let me just do a scratch test. It's still alive, kind of, at the base. So it'll probably die back quite low. And until it grows enough roots that it could start growing from the base. And it is a honeysuckle. Is a semi-evergreen one, and I defoliated all the old leaves, which I didn't do completely, but there's an old leaf, and I just pick it off. So that's what you're seeing, the new growth, and yeah, camellia, and currant. So yeah. I wonder what these smell like. This is not a very nice flower, but no, I don't smell anything. It looks like it's in the rose family. They just have rose-like flowers. I don't know. I'm gonna try to pollinate them, so oh, sorry. This should be censored, but I'm doing wonders for this plant, and that looks like the stigma. Is that the stigma? What is that? It looks like the stigma. But I'll just, stigma is somewhere down in there. I'll just kind of go all around pollinating them all and trying to get fruit on this. It would be nice to collect this from seed. It probably grows some cuttings, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there.